So this video is designed to help with the Starting with Confidence booklet section 2 of part A on indices, and all of this will help you answer exercise 2. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at the rules of indices and the other additional notes that we will all need to work out the answers to exercise 2, and we're going to go through some of these examples to further illustrate the points we make. So we're going to start with some of the useful facts that we're going to need to be solving these questions on indices. And the first one is two numbers or letters raised to a power n. And in this situation, what we do to expand this out is to apply n to both a and to b. And this is the key thing. N applies to a and it applies to b. So we're going to look at a quick example here. This is 2 to the x, all raised to the power of 2. And in this situation, 2 applies to the 2 and 2 applies to the x, and we get 4x squared. This is a very similar example to this one here, and what we do is we apply n to both the numerator and the denominator. A to the n over b to the n. And again, let's look at an example. Here, get 9 to the half over x to the half, which we can continue to simplify, which is 3, because the half means a root, to the x to the half. And we'll look at how to further simplify this in some of the later slides. Another thing to remember is that a to the naught is always 1, so it doesn't matter what a is, but as soon as it's raised to the power of naught, it's 1. And any value on its own contains a hidden 1. Okay. These are two very important things. A negative power indicates a reciprocal. So whenever you see the minus sign, it's always 1 over. Here we have x and we have the 1. So we have x, and don't forget there'd be a hidden 1 there. So let's look at a proper example here. This minus sign indicates 1 over, and we have 6. We have a 2 here, so that's raised to the 2. It's 1 over 36. And a fractional power indicates a root. So the 2 is the square root, and then we put the x in. And equally here we've got a 3, so this will be the third root. And 27, the third root of 27 is 3. So here's the first rule of indices. A to the m, a to the n. These are multiplied together, and a is the same in both situations, but m and n can be different. And in this case, we add the indices. So let's look at an example. Here x is x to the 1, and the root x is x to the half. Don't forget our last example, an x is a half, a root is a half. And here, 1 and a half can get added together because x is the same in these situations. So x is 1 plus a half. So it's x to the 3 over 2. Here's the second rule of indices. A to the m over a to the n. M and n can be different, but a has to be the same. In this situation, we subtract n from m. So let's look at another example here. The root x is x to the half. And of course we have x squared here. And here we have a and a, x and x here, they've been the same, and m is a half and n is 2, so we can use this rule, x half minus 2, so x is minus 3 over 2. Here's the third rule of indices then. So a to the m is raised by another power n. And in this situation, m and n are multiplied together. Let's look at an example here. We can split this apart using this working backwards almost. So we can say that 8 is a third times half. And what we can then do is apply each of these indices to 8 separately. So 8 to a third, and this is a half. So the fraction indicates a root, and this is the third root because of the 3. And there's the 8 and we can square that. So the third root of 8 is 2 all squared, and that is 4. So we're going to finish off with an example, and this is as hard as it gets. 64 to the minus 3/5. So in this situation, what we can look at is 64 to the 5th all raised to the minus 3. So what we've done is use the rule that allows us to split this up. And 64 to the 5th, well, that's the 5th root of 64. Don't forget, it's all still raised to the minus 3. This is then equal to the 5th root, 64, which is 2 to the minus 3. Now we've got the minus sign, so we can do a 1 over reciprocal. So that's 1 over 2, and we've still got the 3 to carry. So there we go. And then our final step is to cube 2. So now you should be able to do exercise 2 of your Starting with Confidence booklet.